Hello, Leo. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, Leo. So tonight we have the hierophant. It's all about tradition, order, having really a deep connection with the divine, the cosmos, the great mysteries, and so on and so forth. So I love this energy to start with. It tells me that you are in a pretty seriously spiritual mode right now, working on a lot of the probably practical aspects. So what does that mean? That'd be like, okay, I'm getting back into my meditating. I'm going to start keeping an altar. I'm going to go, back to my mosque. I haven't been there in a while, or maybe I'm finding a new one, or right. These are just examples, but it could, I feel like it's whatever's going on in your self evolution journey. It is really, really potent in that spiritual sector. And rather than just keeping that in the abstract or the interior or, in your interior landscape, I feel you really bringing that out into your lifestyle. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to turn this thing here. Okay, and lift it up and take a look. And so I want to go ahead and say thank you so much for taking the time to click on this video and sit here and enjoy enjoy our little ride together. I really feel so much honor and privilege being able to bring messages to each of you, and yeah. So thank you. I love you. Let's get started. Also, if you want to subscribe, or leave a comment for the algorithm. All right, here we go. We have the Sacred Heart. That's the first thing I saw right here. We have the heart, and we have this beautiful flame coming out of it. Now, if you've ever seen the Sacred Heart, actually, I think am I wearing it? Yeah. Okay. So I have my necklace. I want to show you because I never have the symbols really, but this is not the traditional form, but this is similar, right? Usually there's also like the fire coming out of the top, but we do have the Sacred Heart here as well. So to me, the Sacred Heart represents agape. And what is agape? Agape is the belovedness, the love that we share with the divine. It is your love for, whatever you call it. If it's God, goddess, if they have some particular name, or, maybe it's the sciences or the cosmos in general. Maybe you just don't know, but you feel something's out there, right? This is our connection. If you could imagine like a string that is connecting your heart to the heart of the universe. That is the agape. Okay, so we have that there. And that's, to me, that's the most beautiful and auspicious symbol that we can see. I know that everything is in its right place when I see that. I know that you are really very serious about, the work that you're doing, right? Your spiritual work, your creative work, really knowing yourself, evolving yourself, integrating, individuating, all of these kinds of things. The spiritual alchemy, okay? Now, right here we have a snail and we have a person in a boat. You can see sitting beneath the snail. So to me, what this says is that you are actively changing your life. You have gotten on that boat. You packed your stuff. Right? You got the boat all set up. You got in the boat and you took off. So this is very intentional. But with the snail, it tells me that you're taking it slow, right? It doesn't all have to happen overnight. In fact, when you do it this way, and I know you're a Leo, you want it now, now, now. I get it. I have a lot of Leo in my chart too, so I'm here with you. I get it. But when you take it slow and you do it with full intention, full awareness, that's when it's going to stick. That's when you are going to not make this like a fad of the season or a phase. No, this becomes part of your life. Okay? And so I feel you really beautifully, just if you could imagine the most calm waters, just kind of cruising in the direction that you want to go. Now, we also have, it looks like, right here we have a person. You can see the head, the arms, and the skirt. Now they're holding it, looks like a snake. And down here we have a person. You can see the head and the body, and this to me almost looks like an apparition, like a ghostly thing. Now over here we have the butterfly. We also have, it looks like the head of a steer or a cow or bull possibly. We have the number 1007. We also have the number 2. Okay, so I feel like there are times where you're very haunted by your past. I feel like below it all, and I'm just going to say this, and I'm saying this as a person who understands deeply, not as like I'm not an implication or judgment or anything like that. I feel like whatever happened when you were young and the way that you had to survive it, because it does feel like it was something difficult for you. If it was bullying, problems at home, maybe one of your early relationships, I feel like you carry a lot of guilt and maybe shame about how you went about dealing with whatever the situation was, your reactions, your coping mechanisms. And even now, many years later, I'm guessing, you still feel quite guilty for it. So I feel like this is one of the places where, you have to learn to let go of that guilt. That's not always easy, I know. Maybe making amends, even if you are still like close with the person, right? You might even like not ever talk about what went on. You might, whatever, you separated or whatever, you went your own way, and maybe nothing ever came about, no conversation or whatever. But I do feel like when we take responsibility and we say sorry, that is our key to let go of our guilt. Because so many times, we make a bigger deal of something than somebody else they might not even remember, that doesn't mean that, what we did or said or whatever shouldn't be apologized for. But I do think letting it go, just purging it. And we do that through, taking responsibility. Now, if that's not the situation, I feel like there just seems to be this feeling that often just like defaults you back into feeling like you're always going to be whoever that person was. And you're not, right? I'm not the same person I was when I was 20. Not even close. I'm not the same person I was when I was 10. Or even probably 4 years ago. Like, we change, we evolve, we become other things. Now, we have that butterfly, and it tells me that this is a good sign that you're even thinking about these things. because I feel like you're ready to heal. It's like when you're, your scrape, it starts to itch and you're like, I don't want to, if I scratch it, I'm going to take off the scab and all of that. But when we feel that, we know it's starting to heal. Doesn't feel the best, but I know I'm doing the work. And at some point, it'll be gone. And so I feel like, yes, there is just such a, I don't know if you've had kids anytime recently, but they have this thing called a leap. Now, this is what they call it. It's when when they're young, they have them often. But they start to kind of, maybe get a little more cranky. They're not sleeping as well. And then suddenly they learn all these things, right? And you're like, oh, they were going through a leap. Now they can talk and they're, starting to walk. And now I see why they've been having trouble going to bed. So I feel like even as adults, we have these similar leaps. I don't know if that's like legitimately happening with like our, brain and stuff, but I absolutely feel like we do. We have moments where it's like, okay, now we have to start evolving. We have to start doing some self-work because I need some change in my life. And I feel you really committed to this. I feel you so committed. And honestly, I'm seeing the word dirt. I don't know why. I'm sorry. D-I-R-T. Right there, T. We also have that steerhead. So we have a Taurus involved somewhere. We also have the number, it looks like 55 right there. And R-I-G, rig. I don't know. Or R space I-G. Okay. And I feel like, well, look at that. That looks like a face right there. The eyes, the nose, little goatee. I feel like you have two people in your life who you used to be very close with. And we have 1, 2. But I think you were miserable in this friendship or whatever the dynamic was. I see you finally releasing yourself of that situation. I feel like it's been difficult for you to kind of like stop answering texts or calls or, wondering what are they doing or are they thinking about me or, just tormenting yourself in a way about it. And I feel like you're finally kind of just letting it go. I feel like this is a time where it's like you're doing the big clean out of your life and making room because you know that there's something wonderful coming around the corner. But I do feel you staying very devoted to the work that you're doing to get your life kind of, decluttered of, feelings and old blockages and people and that don't serve you well anymore. And, things that you're wasting your time with, things that make you feel worse, right, than better. And so I see all of this happening. And I feel like suddenly the sun is coming out. Suddenly you're starting to really realize, that was worse than I even thought it was, right? And so here we are kind of flinging the door open and walking through. Now, we have the name Ivy. I-V, I-V-Y down here. Here's the Y. Okay? I-V-Y. Ivy. It could be actual Ivy. It could be somebody's name, like Ivy. So you've had a red bird coming around that you've noticed. It might be a cardinal. It might be something else. But there's somebody with a C name. They're attached to it. This is them trying to get through to you. C name. They are past already before you. I almost wonder if their name is like Sai or like Sylvia. Is that? No, that's an S. But it's not a ch sound. It's like a C, C-I-C-Y. I feel like it's masculine energy. They really had a connection to ducks, but they're showing up as a red bird because it was something special between the two of you. And you'll know. You'll know what it is. I feel like they were in maybe the First World War or the Second or both. And I feel like there's this sense of a lot of remorse for not being able to connect with you in the way that you wanted to. I feel like maybe there was like a lot of trauma or kind of an emotional wall, right? And that's how they dealt with their, well, I'm guessing PTSD or something akin to that, their anxieties. So I feel like there's just a lot of like, it feels very like, I wish I could have, been better, a better parent, a better grandparent, aunt, uncle, whoever this was, but they feel very close. I think you saw them often, and I think it's like one of those things where they always wanted to tell you how much they loved you, but they didn't know how. So they're with you. And I think that you already know this. I don't think that it's like a thing where you lay awake at night wondering if they loved you. They showed you through their actions. But I feel like, this person took a lot of guilt with them, even into the, other place, wherever that is. And so this is a good reminder, right? We've been talking about this the whole reading. Letting go of some of this stuff. But I do also think that this is a really beautiful kind of message of love here. Okay. Now we're going to do 3 lucky numbers. 32. 53. 82. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to finish with our indigo sage affirmation cards. And I'm going to go ahead. I'll flip through. I'll stop where it feels right. And it says 19. Exquisiteness. Forever nectar. Allow immortal beauty to pour through every thought, word, and action. All right. Well, Leo, I want to tell you I love you because I do, and I hope that you know that. I really do. And I thank you once more for being here with me. I'm trying to put my necklace back on here. And if you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. I'm also just interested in what are you going to be doing for the solstice? The summer solstice or winter solstice is coming up here in a month about, and I'm so interested in what people are doing for it. So if you want to share, put it in the comments. All right, I love you. We'll talk later. Good night.